never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Find another.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Well, yesterday we talked some college football, so why not make it 2 days in a row? So today, let's talk some college football. And this particular topic comes from CBS Sports. I believe this came out on Tuesday of this week. It is 7 college quarterbacks who could emerge as potential first-round draft picks with standout seasons. So in other words, you're not going to hear Caleb Williams in the top 7 because pretty much everybody thinks he's either going to be a top 5 pick or the number 1 pick in next year's draft. But these are 7 quarterbacks who will more than likely probably get drafted somewhere. But according to CBS Sports, if they have good seasons, borderline great seasons in 2023, they could be first-round draft picks in the 2024 NFL Draft. As always, any thoughts on it, please feel free to let me know. I'll go ahead and give you the 7 quarterbacks, and then I'll give some thoughts on each quarterback. We have Jayden Daniels from LSU, Joe Milton III from Tennessee, J.J. McCarthy, Michigan, Spencer Rattler, South Carolina, Jordan Travis, Florida State, DJU, Oregon State, and Tyler Van Dyke from Miami. Now, those are the 7 quarterbacks who, according to CBS Sports, could emerge as potential first-round draft picks in next year's NFL Draft with standout seasons this year. Now, Jayden Daniels, I do expect to improve because if you follow LSU at all, you know that he improved last year as the season went on. The first 5 or 6 weeks of the season, he looked like he couldn't throw a forward pass. But as the year went on, he got better and better. So I expect him to improve a lot this year in year number 2 under Brian Kelly. Like Brian Kelly or not, doesn't matter. The fact is, the man can flat out coach. And then we have Joe Milton III from Tennessee. Now, of course, with the system that Josh Heupel runs, or as I call him, Josh Heupel, because of the way it is spelled. With the system he runs, you can pretty much plug and play anybody, and they're going to have great numbers at quarterback. So I expect Joe Milton, if he stays healthy, to have a phenomenal season, just like Hendon Hooker did last year. But I've mentioned before here on the channel, the thing that Joe Milton has to improve on is the deep ball. There's nobody in America who knows anything about football that can seriously, honestly tell you that anybody has a stronger arm than Joe Milton, because they don't. Joe Milton can stand flat footed and not move and throw a ball 85 yards. Nobody has an arm anywhere close to that strong. But the problem is he needs to be accurate with it. When he played last year, before he got hurt and Hendon took the job, he had, I couldn't tell you how many times he would go back and have a receiver down the field wide open, and he would just flat out overthrow him. So, yes, he's going to have outstanding numbers, but it's because of the system they run. So, what the NFL guys are going to look for is accuracy downfield. That's what he needs. Now, as far as J.J. McCarthy goes, I think he's going to get drafted, but I honestly don't know if he can do anything to improve his draft stock. Not that he can't get better, because he can, but the Michigan offense is going to be the Michigan offense because Jim Harbaugh is the coach. They are going to be a predominantly running team. That's what they are. So J.J. McCarthy is going to throw the ball as little as possible. As long as Michigan can run the ball, he might throw the ball 25 times a game. So his stats are not going to be that impressive. So you're going to have to look at his decision making. Does he hold his teammates accountable? Does he have a good head on his shoulders? Because his stats are not going to jump out at you. And as far as Spencer Rattler goes, I just don't know, because ever since he was a freshman at Oklahoma, all we've heard about Spencer Rattler is how great he's going to be, and I still am waiting to see it because I still haven't seen it. He has the height, he has the arm strength, he has the speed, he has the accuracy, but for some reason he just can't put it all together on the field. So, to my way of thinking, if he has spent his entire collegiate career being inconsistent, I don't see any reason to believe that this year is going to be any different. I think he's still going to be inconsistent. Now, his numbers look good. If you look at his completion percentage, his passing yards, touchdowns, all that is good. But he needs to try to get about 300 yards a game, and that's where his problem comes in. He'll go out like last year against Tennessee and have 500 passing yards, 6 touchdowns in one game, and then the very next week he'll throw for 120 yards. If he could just get 3 to 350 passing every game, he'd be fine. So his overall numbers are good, because when he has a great game, he has a great game. But anytime a Rattler has 400 plus passing yards with 2 or more touchdowns in a game, you can bet the very next week he's going to have maybe $150 passing. He just can't have consistent back-to-back good games, and he hasn't done it yet. So I don't think this year will be any different. Now, Jordan Travis has a good chance to improve his draft stock, because me and about everybody else in the world of college football thinks Florida State's going to be a top 10 team this year. And with the offense they run, and Jordan Travis has consistently gotten better every single year, if they are a top 10 team this year, he will definitely improve his draft stock. Now, DJU, it's hard to say, because everybody in the world said that him going to Clemson was a bad idea, because DJU doesn't like to run the ball, and part of the Clemson offense is the quarterback running the ball 12 to 15 times a game. DJU likes to be under center, and Clemson runs from the shotgun. So everybody in the world said from the get-go that that system did not fit his playing style. And sure enough, it didn't. So I do think he will improve, but there are also some things that were under his control that he didn't look very good in, and that's downfield passing. There was numerous times he'd have guys 15, 16 yards downfield wide open, and he would flat out miss them. And that might go back to the coaching style. Maybe he just didn't feel comfortable in that system, and it showed when he was passing the ball. But there was way too many times where he had receivers wide open. He flat out missed them. And a lot of the Clemson faithful got mad about 3 weeks ago or so when DJU did an interview, and he wasn't mean. He didn't call anybody names. He didn't say anything derogatory. He didn't use any foul language. But you know, this day and time, people get offended by everything everybody says. And he pretty much just said that the Clemson system didn't fit his style. He didn't like the offense they ran. He said they were too predictable. He said they were too vanilla. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I've mentioned that here on the channel numerous times, that the Clemson offense, it's too bland, it's too basic, it's too vanilla, it's too boring. And there was too many times last year that Brandon Streeter, who is now, thank God, at Georgia and no longer involved with Clemson, but there was too many times last year that they just completely, totally stopped running the ball. And after the game, Brandon Streeter would always say, we got to run the ball more. But yet, he was the coach, and they didn't run the ball more. So I'm not really sure that Brandon Streeter knew what kind of offense he wanted to run. Thank God now Georgia can worry about that. But the Oregon State system fits DJU a lot better because they don't play near as fast as Clemson does. DJ's going to be under center a lot more. He's going to run the ball very seldom. So I do think he'll have better numbers because this system fits him a whole lot better. But can he be accurate going downfield? That's going to be the key thing to look at, because we know he has the arm strength. We know he has the height. We know he has the size. There's no doubt about that. But it don't matter if you're 9'12" and 900 pounds. If you can't throw the ball 15 yards downfield consistently, nobody is going to want you. And the last guy is Tyler Van Dyke. Tyler Van Dyke needs a big year because if you recall, going into last year, Tyler Van Dyke was supposedly a Heisman candidate. Now, me personally, I think Tyler Van Dyke is a good quarterback, but I think Mario Cristobal is a joke of a football coach. So Tyler Van Dyke might get some better, but I don't think he's going to get much better because he has a clown as a head coach. But I do think he can improve some. But going into last year, about week 2 or 3, he was the best quarterback in America, according to some. And then by week 9, he's on the bench because he sucks. And I don't think it's because he sucks. I think it's because Mario Cristobal is an absolute clown. He's pretty much Bozo the Clown on the sidelines. But I do think he will get some better this year, but I don't think he'll get tremendously better. Any thoughts on any of these quarterbacks? Please feel free to let me know. The 7 college quarterbacks who could emerge as potential first-round draft picks with standout seasons, according to CBS Sports. Jaden Daniels, Joe Milton III, J.J. McCarthy, Spencer Rattler, Jordan Travis, DJU, and Tyler Van Dyke. Homes for Our Troops is a publicly funded 501c nonprofit organization that builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Since the 2004 inception, nearly 90 cents of every dollar spent has gone directly to our program services for veterans. Visit at hfotusa.org. let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. What happens when you eat aluminum foil? You sheet metal. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.